I'm Allendale Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. A lot of things to talk about here as we take a look at the midday weather update, and a lot of it has to do with some of the, I would say, fear-mongering that's being put out there on heavy rain potential across the central and eastern Corn Belt. Just within the past couple of hours, I've seen multiple places talk about the huge and significant rains that could be moving across Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio between now and next Monday. Let's be clear, my forecast hasn't changed. I see multiple systems coming through, but what everybody seems to be getting a little bit worked up about is one or two models showing a cluster of heavy thunderstorms that's likely to hit on Saturday. They're citing the RPM model as being one that comes through. Let's be clear here. We're not seeing a model agreement amongst multiple models that say there's going to be huge clusters of thunderstorms move through. That being said, I think we're in a setup here where we're going to be seeing waves of action come through, and I think if you're going to broad brush the entire central to eastern part of the Corn Belt, you'd have to continue to put us under a 1 to 2, maybe 1 to 3 inch rainfall total. But some of the things I've heard so far have been talking about as much as 5 inches, and I think that's just a little bit out there right now. So it's something that we're going to watch. Let's talk about what we see here at midday as we take a look at the latest model updates. Right now, I'm seeing a pattern here that shows moisture spreading northward across the rest of Illinois into Indiana. It's in Missouri right now. Rain showers, thunderstorms all overrunning the top of a frontal boundary that sits just to the south, right along the Ohio River Valley. That's a done deal. It's happening, and it will continue to spread east as we go through the day tomorrow. So there will be good rains there. 1/2 to 2 inch rainfall totals would probably catch everything. I guess I'm not as concerned about the upper end of the range as the lower. I think it's going to take a couple of good, strong thunderstorm clusters to do that. The next batch of moisture that comes through is going to be hit and miss stuff that fires off from basically Friday through Sunday. And in this pop-up, fire-it-off kind of setup, that's where the rub comes as far as some of these other short-term models. Several of them trying to show different MCSs, different thunderstorm complexes across the areas from central Illinois eastward. My gut feeling is we're going to be seeing several waves of showers and thunderstorms. I guess I'm not seeing everything that falling in place yet that would trigger a good, strong MCC. I think that's going to be difficult to do. So as we go forward, let's keep rain in the forecast, but still say coverage on any given day, probably 40% of the Corn Belt, and over the 3-day stretch, maybe 60% of the Corn Belt. We'll have to just see how that goes from here. What I really would like to see is model agreement. So let's see several systems or several models coming together to project the same kind of system before we get too excited one way or the other. Another little batch of moisture as we go into the first part of next week, Monday, Tuesday. And from there, then, we're going to be watching for dry weather to emerge Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. Have a system that we're going to go ahead and allow to come in Saturday into early Sunday of next weekend. So we're talking over a week from now. And then another system around the 23rd, 24th. There will be dry windows in between. So what we're saying here is everybody's getting excited about potential for this weekend. We're going to say let the weekend sort itself out. We don't think there's going to be as much of a threat for the strong to heavy rains in the places that are being talked about, especially right now with a lack of model agreement between different models. Everybody's kind of hopping on the bandwagon with one or two models right now rather than saying we've got agreement across the board. So that's the flag that I'll throw up right now. Yep, a little bit damp here in the short term, but overall we're not holding a candle anywhere close to what was going on in June. That's the way things are stacking up. If you need any questions answered on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.